and the situation is not getting any better. So I don't care what Germany and Mrs. Merkel, or whatever she's, it's Mrs. Merkel. I don't care what she thinks. I mean, the Germans, if they're going to be part of that European community, they're going to be part of it. If they don't like it, well, break up the European Union, break up the Eurozone, and do your own thing. But you can't have it both ways. And, France has kept their mouth shut. They don't want to get embroiled in it. And they're going to have to bail them out. All the banks in Europe are coming down. They're pretty simple. I mean, just like in America. I mean, they started out by saving banks and brokerage firms and lending institutions. Should they have done it? No, they shouldn't have. They should have let them go down. And we could have purged the system and been in and out of depression inside of 2 or 3 years. But that didn't fit that timetable. So.
But isn't it ultimately they want the banks to fail anyway? The majority of them?
We know that, but very few other people know it.
I mean, that is their guideline and their plan and their agenda to do that.
It is. So, the logic is that they should be saved, to answer the question. But they're not going to do anything logical. They're going to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. It's not on behalf of the German people. It's on behalf of the people who control the German people. And Germany is probably more controlled today than ever before.
By her saying that, could it break up the EU? Could it break up the EU?
Absolutely. If they do not bail them out, the EU is history. I mean, who's going to supply the money? The IMF? And, of course, they floated their canard again today. Well, it's going to be talked about selling gold in order to finance 400 tons of gold. And last time they did that, what happened was gold went down about $20 or $30 an ounce for about 6 or 7 or 8 weeks. And when the sale was over, gold doubled. And that was based upon the feeling that, well, there won't be any more selling for some time to come, so there's no overhang, so it's going to go up.
Well, they've been pulling this 400 tons from the IMF for 1.5 years now.
They still don't have approval.
No. And it hasn't had any impact, so you'd think that would already been filtered through to where even if they did do it, what difference is it? It's not going to make any difference.
Well, it's not going to make a lot of difference. It's just going to impede things for a month or two.
Yeah. In his speech, he was talking about Mexico and how they're supposedly sending troops down there to help Mexico, and now Mexico comes out and says that they're going to they rule out joint border patrols with the U.S., but yet they want the U.S. to help them with eliminating guns and money that come into their country. So,
Well, first of all, the money coming into the country is just ridiculous because there's $20 billion plus that comes into the country illegally every year from the sale of narcotics. Not all, but almost all the high-profile weapons, rocket launchers, grenades, machine guns, all that stuff's coming in from South America. Very little of it is coming from the United States because certainly, Joe's gun store doesn't sell those kind of items. Now, if they were to get them at all from the United States, they would have to come from the U.S. military. And as we found out during the Iran-Contra affair, what Bill Clinton was doing was emptying the armories in Arkansas to supply the weapons for the Contra forces. Now, whether that's going on again, I don't know, but that's where they'd have to come from. And I would have to say, in the absence of no knowledge, none of those, especially destructive, high-profile weapons, are coming for the United States. So it's a bunch of crap. The United States is looking for an excuse to go into Mexico. The United States, through the DEA and the CIA, are trying to break up the drug cartels. They have people planted in all their organizations. And the reason why is they want to take over the drug business. It's as simple as that. And, of course, the people in the drug business are upset about it because, look, they just want to make their business. It's like any other business. And if Americans weren't buying drugs, we wouldn't have this problem.
So they'll go down, take it over, and then they'll legalize it.
No, why would they want to legalize it when they're making about $800 billion a year? Or a trillion, probably close to $1 trillion.
People are still going to buy it. They'll buy more of it, wouldn't they?
Well, if the price is lower, they might buy more. But the point is, Americans are fueling the drug business. Come on.
Yeah.
America is what is at fault. All these people are doing is taking advantage of it. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. I don't like drugs. I mean, when I was coaching in Malibu for years, I put the word out in the city. If I catch anybody selling the drugs to kids, I will turn them over to the police. And if police don't pick them up, I'll kill them. And I told the police that. They all knew me. I used to coach their kids. You know what they said to me? We believe you. And when I lived in that city, there was no drugs among the kids. The adults were using them, and what they do with their lives is up to them. But no kids were using them. And but where are they all coming from? For the most part, from Central and South America and Mexico. There was a time a lot of heroin was coming in from China, and it was called China White, and that was during the 60s, but that sort of trailed off.
The oil is going down, yet the gasoline is up at $2.03 a gallon. Why the paradox?
I think a lot of it's got to do with production. It's running around 85% of capacity. But who knows? You know, it's a large industry. You can't get into their heads. They're not going to let you. They do what they want to do, and it's really as simple as that. I mean, they can charge what they want.
Will the market continue to plummet leading up to the G20 meeting on Thursday?
Yeah, it started. I would have thought they would have held it longer up. But they just weren't capable of doing it. We might get a little bounce tomorrow, but it's not going to, it'll be a mini dead cat bounce. And by the time this thing is over, it should be down below 7,000 again, headed back to test 660, 6,600. And I think that will break. I think they'll get down to 6,000 on the next one. This is a bear market that began in 2000, was interrupted artificially by the Federal Reserve, and you know, this should have happened a long time ago.
We'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. Take care and God bless. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.